NXT TakeOver Phoenix. This show took place in Phoenix, Arizona from the Talking Stick Resort Arena, which is without question the worst name for any venue. Whether it be an arena or a stadium, that name is just terrible. What the hell is a talking stick? So before the main show started, we had the pre-show. You had Charlie Caruso, Pat McAfee, and Sam Roberts on the pre-show panel. They didn't really talk about anything else than just previewing the matches for tonight. And then you had, as the backstage interview, you had Sarah Scriber, who's their new one they hired, and she's really attractive. She's interviewing Johnny Gargano, and it's really good when Zelina Vega interrupts. And Zelina is just ripping into Gargano. She's rubbing it into what happened last year in which Gargano lost to Andrade. We can't call him Cien Almas anymore, just Andrade, in that classic main event from Philadelphia, which was the night before last year's Royal Rumble, which was just an incredible match. And she's doing a great job here. I really like Zelina a lot. And you can see Johnny selling it really well, just that rage that's in him. We start off the show. We have a cool video package, and I'm glad we did not get a Poppy performance. She was teasing it on Twitter. She was saying, seeing tomorrow NXT TakeOver or something is great. We have to see this bitch perform. Her music is just terrible. I'm sorry, Poppy fans, but my God, she is horrible. What a horrible genre that is. We have this amazing entrance to start. So what we have is we have these Vikings come out, and it goes on for a while. They play that Viking horn sound, and it's for the War Raiders, which is just awesome. And they have a really great entrance here. I loved it. Crowd loved it. I just thought that was really cool. I love how they do that at TakeOver sometimes. They give someone a big entrance when they really want to get you over. And then the Undisputed Era come out. It's just Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong in the ring. So Adam Cole and Bobby Fish were not present. And every single Undisputed Era match on the TakeOver show, the fans are going to be behind the Undisputed Era because they're great and the fans are really into them even though they're heels. It's always going to be a challenge when you have a babyface tag team going up against a really popular heel tag team, but this match was great. It started off really hot. They had a lot of throws. They really had the War Raiders go after them. And I love how the Raiders throw themselves into other people, and they throw, it's always Rowe slamming Hanson into the opponents. It's really crazy. And Hanson's the bigger guy. I really like that dynamic. I think it's really creative how they do that. And my God, Hanson is super athletic. They had a fantastic match here, and it was just so much fun to watch. Every single tag team match on every single TakeOver is just great. It's a thrill to watch them. It's like a thrill ride when you see it. It's like they have so many false finishes, and it's the first match, and it's just great. The fans are super pumped always, especially when it's the Undisputed Era. They're always going nuts before the match even starts. And they had a lot of false finishes. It looked like the War Raiders were going to win earlier. Then it looked like the Undisputed Era was going to win. But then finally, War Raiders win. I like their original finish better. I like the one in which Rowe throws one of the wrestlers up and Hanson hits a power slam. But this one here was more of a, basically Rowe has him up and Hanson hits a leg drop from the top. And they pin him. Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, rest of the Undisputed Era. I don't know what's next. Hopefully the main roster, but because I think they've done everything they can do in NXT. But this match was great. And fans did not turn on the War Raiders. They like both teams. They like Undisputed Era more, but they really like the War Raiders too. Up next, we went to, without question, my least favorite match on the show. You had Matt Riddle and Kassius Ohno. I just don't care about Kassius Ohno. I don't want to see him on the TakeOver anymore. The guy's fat. He's out of shape. Chris Hero hasn't been a big name in independent wrestling folklore for a very long time. No one cares about Chris Hero anymore or Kassius Ohno. He's fat and out of shape. Can they just, I don't want to see him wrestle anymore. Just have him be a trainer. He can tell everyone not to follow his diet. I did not like how they had Kassius Ohno dominate. It seemed like 80% of the match. It gave him so much offense. And you just know Matt Riddle's going to be a star. It's like they can't do another squash match because they just added that at the last TakeOver, but it should have been this way in which you have a guy who just means nothing, just dominating the majority of the match. And the whole spot when Ohno bites Riddle's toe, my God, that's fucking gross. And I didn't like the ending. They blatantly ripped off Daniel Bryan and Nigel McGuinness from that classic ROH match with the whole elbows to the head and the tap out. And the finish was okay. The match itself, again, it was decent, but I just thought they gave Ohno too much offense. I just thought the match was just kind of there for me, very forgettable. Also worth noting, before that match happened, they showed Toni Storm and Pete Dunne in the crowd together. I wonder if they're an item. Lucky Pete, if that's true. After the Ohno Riddle match, it showed the Velveteen Dream arriving in a van. Like, it actually was kind of like a giant van limo. And there's a couple women he has by his side. So, like, they did nothing with him tonight. It's like they just showed that he's there. I thought for sure he was going to come out and attack Ciampa and end the show, but that's not how they ended it tonight. So up next, you have Johnny Gargano challenging Ricochet for the North American Championship. And going into this match, this was going to be a match of the year contender to a lot of people when it was first announced. And holy fucking shit did they deliver. Johnny Gargano has evolved his character in such a way that it's just absolutely remarkable. It is just outstanding to think about the way this guy has taken the most loved babyface in the company a year ago and turned him into just this detestable heel. Not necessarily a Tommaso Ciampa clone, but close to it. It's like I don't want him, when he teams up with Ciampa, I don't want him to feel like second fiddle to Ciampa. I think that might happen, but the transformation from Johnny Gargano from a year ago, we look at what he was doing at Almas this time last year to now, it's just, the guy has proven he can be just as great of a heel as he was a babyface. And everybody loved Johnny wrestling now. It's like now they just hate him, man. It's like Johnny, failure. They love rubbing it in. It's incredible. Gargano's just insane. And Ricochet, on the other hand, might be he's without question the most agile wrestler. He's one of the most athletic wrestlers I've ever seen. Without question, I think the greatest high flyer I've seen. I have to say that. Like, I can't believe how this guy just makes everything look so easy. It's like, when he is running across the ring, diving over the turnbuckle onto Gargano. You know how many guys would just like snap their head on the back of the turnbuckle? He overshot it. The guy is just insane. It's not even, it's a video game character. It's fucking insanity with this guy. The Frankensteiner spot was fucking crazy, in which Gargano goes for a Frankensteiner. Ricochet does like 2 somersaults. He lands on his feet. Now, I know there's some people almost ripping it because what happened was New Japan had a spot like that earlier this year. I think it was Kota Ibushi and Will Ospreay. So, that is what it is. If, that happened, I don't necessarily remember that. But, my God, I shouldn't take away from that. It was like they had so many crazy spots. You had the spot which, it looks like Johnny Gargano breaks his back and lands on the apron. There was the really savage DDT by Gargano after he hit Ricochet with a devastating move. Ricochet kicks out, but then they used the concrete to the finish. The concrete spot, my only problem was they did it again in the main event, but not necessarily this match. It didn't bother me. It was a great sequence. It was a vicious suplex on the out. He almost sold it. I almost thought they were going to try and do a brainbuster. Thank God they didn't. It was a suplex on the outside, and then Gargano hits like an elevated DDT to Ricochet, and Johnny Gargano wins the NXT North American Championship. This match was out of this world. The fans were just giving them standing ovations. This was just so much fun to watch. It was just insane. The way they'd reversed each other's moves, just the knees and the kicks, and I can't even remember some of the craziest spots. I remember a few spots. It's like so much fucking happened here. It was insane, and they couldn't follow it. I'm sorry, the next 2 matches could not follow. Even though the next 2 matches were both really good, they cannot follow. This match was a classic match. One of the best in NXT history, just an amazing match. They went to the NXT Women's Championship next. They had Shayna Baszler defending her title against Bianca Belair. How can they top that? So the crowd was really into Bianca Belair, which I liked because I'm a big Bianca Belair fan. I'm really into her. I'm a fan of hers. I've said so far. I really think the two women in NXT that really stick out to me, I think, can be big stars on the main roster, are Bianca Belair and Toni Storm, who's in the NXT UK brand. But I really think they have a lot to offer. And this was, Shayna Baszler dominated the majority of the match, but this was like a showcase for Bianca Belair. If you think that Triple H is not going to give her the NXT Women's Championship, you're out of your mind. He is going to push her heavily, and I think it makes more sense to not have her win this time, so now the fans will have sympathies for her, and then when she probably wins the next TakeOver in New York at WrestleMania weekend, there'll be a bigger impact, and plus that's during WrestleMania. Shayna Baszler is a good heel. The fans really don't like her. I just don't like her in general. Like, I don't want to see her as this champion. I don't think she deserves it. She just doesn't do it for me. I don't like her style. She bores me. Maybe not deserves the right word. She bores me. I don't find her style interesting. She was not that good of an MMA fighter. She was mediocre. Her record's not that good, and when she fought in the UFC, she got her ass kicked. I'm just not a fan of Shayna Baszler. I don't like the push she's getting. I don't have a problem with her being signed into WWE. I just don't agree with the push she's getting. As for her other two horsewomen, Jessamine Duke supposedly has a lot of potential, but Marina Shafir should be fired. She is horrific. She's garbage. I mean, she's really, really bad. I know she's Roderick Strong's wife and they have a kid, but she's horrible at her job. Like, this makes me dislike Ron, and I actually like Ron, but I'm sick of these fucking three luggage carriers being pushed this hard. They're nothing to this damn brand. Why do they have to be pushed? I actually would have pulled the trigger on Belair. I think the crowd... The one thing is, you don't know how a WrestleMania crowd's going to be. This was like a hardcore wrestling fan, but it's Phoenix. In New York, I don't know how they're going to be. Are they going to be as into Bianca Belair as they were in Phoenix, in New York City, with all those hardcore wrestling fans? I'm not sure how they're going to take to her, so... I would have pulled the trigger here if I was Triple H. The match was really slow until the two came out, and then the match really picked up. You had that long rear naked choke spot, which was great. It looked like Bianca Belair was going to break. Well, she broke out once, came close to breaking out a second time, and then she finally just passes out. Really wanted to get her over. You can tell Triple H really loves this chick. She's going to be a star. She might even... I think she's going to get the big moment at WrestleMania when she wins the women's title at WrestleMania weekend, actually. I think she has a lot to offer. This girl is... I really think big things are going to happen for her. And I think it make more sense to end the match the way they did here. And hopefully she gets the belt at the next TakeOver. Main event. Tommaso Ciampa defending his title against Aleister Black. I was worn out, man. I have seen so much. Really, that Gargano Ricochet match, and I really thought the women's match was a draining match the way it ended. So here, I'm just kind of tired, and I'm like, oh man, do I really need to see this? I really don't think Black's going to win. So it took them a while to get me into it, but they finally did. The whole story was Aleister Black's knee. So Tommaso Ciampa's beating the shit out of his knee, and everything that happens here is Black can't overcome his knee. He even does a giant integrate that almost kills both of them. Does a little Seth Rollins, when I complained about Seth, and he sells his knee the whole match, and he does a damn dive. He didn't do as bad here, but a little bit too much. I hate that, man. Like, why are you going to do an aerial move when you have a bad knee? But the match was still a really good match. Not the best of the night. I think the show might have even been better had Ricochet Gargano gone on last, because this was not as good. But again, the whole story is Black, or Ciampa beating the hell out of Black's knee. They have a really cool sequence near the end, and that's where the match really picks up with the finale. He can't hit the Black Mask. I like how they protect the Black Mask, but Ciampa hits the fairy tale ending, and then Black kicks out. He hits another one, Black kicks out again. He hits another one, he goes for a fourth one, even though he doesn't pin him after the third one, and then Black tries to hit the Black Mask, but Ciampa hits him with another one. He finally gets the win. Tommaso Ciampa beats Aleister Black cleanly. They never delivered the concrete saw, which was kind of bad, because I think whenever you tease something, you have to do it. It's like ring over the table and not doing someone not going for it. I think you have to do the spot. Even though we saw it earlier, I think you do have to deliver on that. But the match was still a great match. Very good. A very good main event. Tommaso Ciampa is still your champion. Good ending. I thought, all right, that's it. Like, the fans hate Ciampa. We're just going to end with Ciampa winning. That's it. He's going to celebrate. They do the NXT, the bottom of the screen graphic, like the show's over. And it ends with Johnny Gargano coming out with this title. And then looks like, I was thinking, is he going to lay him out? But then they just celebrate together, and looks like they're going to be a heel team. Maybe Gargano turns on him, but it ends with Johnny Gargano full heel. Same thing with Tommaso Ciampa reunited as the NXT and the NXT North American champions. Heel heavy show. You had the last three matches with heels winning, which was fine. But the whole story is it's the Rumble TakeOver, the WrestleMania TakeOver, probably more babyface oriented. But this was still a great show. Looking forward to what they're doing. We'll see what's up for Gargano and Ciampa. Black should be on the main roster soon. But another great TakeOver. Just the best NXT TakeOver I've ever seen. No, but this was still another great show by NXT.